What's up, guys? Today we're coming at you with a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. So let's jump into the deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. We're running mandatory 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is the heart and soul of the deck. You need this dragon. It's the dragon that's been around since the game started, so this is the dragon that everybody fears. Just a big beat stick that just lays legendary waste. We got the 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Blue Eyes Alternative is the, backup to our Blue Eyes White Dragon. Reveal Blue Eyes in hand, special summoning, get that free pop on the field, and just keep running over the opponent. We're also running 2 Dragon Spirit of the White. Dragon Spirit of the White's a very good card. Make sure you keep popping off that back row. It's very, very useful. You want to be able to do that. Plus 2, if your opponent gets a little crazy on you and you got the Dragon Spirit of the White on the field and they chain something to you, make sure if they got a monster on their side of the field, chain Blue Eyes effect or Dragon Spirit's effect, special summon, tag this out, get it in the graveyard, get the Blue Eyes on the field, let them miss their target. We're also running 3 of the White Stone of the Ancient. This is, you need this card just to make sure you keep the Blue Eyes in hand. Also, too, it's going to help you special summon one at the end phase. You can't get both effects at the same time, but it doesn't matter. Just the fact that you keep getting Blue Eyes on the field or in your hand is all that matters. We're running 1, the White Stone of Legend. It's the best stone that you got. I mean, it's going to help you get that Blue Eyes in the hand as fast as possible, and it's the great searcher for it. We're running 3 Sage with the Eyes of Blue. This is help us get to our stones faster, help us to get to our effect veilers. Also helps us to be able to special summon the Blue Eyes by sending a monster off the field. So that's very useful, helps us to get another beat stick on the field. We're running 1, the Master with Eyes of Blue. This is just to help us to make sure that we can recur any of our tuners in the graveyard that we might need. For instance, get a Sage back, get our effect veiler back. Also, too, if it's in the graveyard, target an effect monster, send it to the graveyard, spin him back into the deck, special summon a Blue Eyes. That could be very useful to you for whatever situation you might need. And lastly, for the monsters, we're running 3 effect veiler. Effect veiler, a lot of people want to run the Ash Blossom, which is a very good card, but for a budget option, Effect Veiler is very good. Effect Veiler, just the fact that you got your Sage, it can search it out. You got your Master that can return it. Effect Veiler can really, really slow down the opponent when they want to try to get some crazy combo plays on you. So make sure you stop their monster's effects and be very useful. And that is it for our monsters. For our spell cards, we're running 1 Pot of Desires. Everybody has an issue with Pot of Desires, but the thing about it is, you got to make your plays right. If you don't have the right plays, don't play Pot of Desire. Just bottom line. Take the hit, go to the next game, go from there. But the fact that if you got your Melody, you go ahead and send whatever cards you need, get at least one of your Blue Eyes out of the deck. That way you don't banish them all out or run the risk of it. Your plays will go fine. We're running 3 Trade-In. Trade-In is, a great utility card to help us get those. Once we special summon our alternative, get that Blue Eyes, send it to the graveyard, reborn it back, and just keep going with your plays after you got your draws. We're also playing 2 of the new Bingo Machine Go. This card is a very good card for the Blue Eyes archetype. It's a very hard card to find at the moment in time, but the thing about it is, for the pure version of Blue Eyes, this card I think only should be ran at 2 at the max. The only reason why I say that is you have issues with, if you start getting all your Blue Eyes in hand, you're not going to have enough targets to reveal to actually make this card live. So if you have 3 of these, yes, you run the chance of seeing it more often to hope OTK your opponent, but if you open up 2 of these in one turn, one of them's going to be dead because it's a once per turn effect. But to be able to get this, it's very, very good. You want to use this to bait out your opponent's ashes, things like that. If you're running the Chaos Max build, this card is very, very good, very, very live, rocking it all times. But for the pure build, I think 2 would be good at max. But it's a very good card to help you get your Blue Eyes cards in the hand. We're also running 3 Melody of the Awakening Dragon. This is just to help make sure we get to that Blue Eyes and that alternative in hand as fast as possible. Very, very good card. Helps the deck out a lot. We're running one Dragon Shrine. Dragon Shrine is, once per turn, but it's going to help us set that graveyard up. Make sure we can get either our Blue Eyes in the graveyard or our Dragon Spirit of White, and hopefully send one of our eggs and get the play set up that way. Same thing with Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial does the same thing, just sending any monster. A lot of times I like to send the Master to the graveyard. That way I can set up the Master in the graveyard. Foolish Burial helps out a lot. Same thing with 1 for 1. 1 for 1 is just a good way to get the graveyard set up by pinching a Blue Eyes or one of your stones, or also just be able to special summon one of your level 1 tuners and help you go into one of your link plays. Monster Reborn is also very good. Monster Reborn just to help special summon the monster back to the field for free. Same thing with Game Charge, Soul Charge, excuse me. Just to be able to special summon as many, big monsters out there and just lock that board down as hard as you can. We also got 3 of our Return of the Dragon Lord. This is to help us to make sure that we can bring back our dragons, just to be able to make sure we got added protection so that they're gonna have to really fight to keep the board cleared and have to do more work than they really want to. We're also running 1 Silver's Cry. Silver's Cry is a very good card. It's just really good for going for game pushes. Anything else is not really necessary, but you can use it as a defensive wall if your opponent wants to, try to beat you down. You just stick out a big Blue Eyes out there, but mostly you want to go for the OTK push. We're also running 2 Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is, mandatory, needed in about every deck that you play. It's just one of those cards that you want to make sure that Ash ain't gonna really pop off on your Ogres, DD Crows, whatever. If they got any type of crazy card over there, or even if you're running against a really grindy deck like Burning Abyss, if they start activating effects in the graveyard and you really don't want to deal with that card, you can use this to banish it out and help you go on with your plays from there. And that is it for our spell cards. For the traps, we're only running 1, and that is a skill drain, because it's just Blue Eyes. You want to be able to beat down, pay that 1,000, make everybody a normal monster, and just you're the biggest monster on board, start beating from there. But that is it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we're running 2 Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. This is a mandatory, I believe, in the deck, because just the fact is you can use one very easily to help you go into VFD, help you go into your Crystal Wing, just to help you to go into your Azure Eyes and just, keep your defensive walls up for the deck. We're on 1 Azure Eyes. Azure Eyes just to help you be pretty much a Monster Reborn for all your Blue Eyes normal monsters. Just be able to keep special summoning the monsters back, keeping more pressure on the opponent. We're running 1 Stardust Spark Dragon to be able to bring this out with our Blue Eye Spirit to help to go into the VFD play. Is very good. The same thing with our Black Moon Dragon, is just to be able to help come out with the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, and that's help us get into our Crystal Wing, things like that. We're running 1 Crystal Wing just to be able to make sure we can knock down those effect monsters. Effect monsters, can be problematic. Also, too, if you're going up against another Blue Eyes pair, if it has a monster that's a level 5 or higher, get that boost on it and run it over. We're running the 1 Cloud Castle just to be able to make sure we can bring back those level 9 monsters to help go into VFD. And also, speaking of VFD, we're talking about the true king of all calamities. To be able to get him out there is, very good. Most decks do not have a straight up hard out to this if you play it. To be able to get this out there on turn 1 is very good. Or just to be able to get it out in general is very good. To be able to make sure your opponent can't activate no crazy effects is very good. We're also running the Galaxy Eyes package, and we're running it in the 1 Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, the 1 Full Armor, and the number 95 Dark Matter. I feel like this package is very, very good. Make sure you can just do some max damage to your opponent and just do whatever crazy plays you want to do. I'm also running 1 number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. I'm starting to like this card a lot. It's the inverts of all the stats of like all the dragon monsters, 25 attack, 3000 defense. But the thing I like about it is it's another monster that's like you detach a material, negate a monster effect. To me, that's very useful. Your opponent's already got a 3000 defense that they got to come over. If you negate their effect, that's going to be hard for them to really come over. Also, I'm running one number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon. This is just really good for making sure you hate on spell cards. You're going to have a lot of star strikers, and like I said, if you get the right negate, that could really be the difference between the game winning play and the game losing play. We're also running the one Hippie. Hippie, he just helps. I mean, the deck has got a lot of light monsters in it. The fact that you get a 500 point boost if this card goes to the graveyard, bring one of your light monsters back if it's destroyed, is very useful for you. You can even spin it back into the extra deck and reuse it again. And lastly, for the extra deck, we're running one Link Karibo, because Link Karibo, you know, he's very good for utility for the deck. You got a lot of level 1 light tuners in here that you can normal summon off, get this out there, save you a turn, and then just swarm your field. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let us know what you think. Leave any comments for any suggestions for any improvements. We're out.